congratulations. I imagine there's been quite a fair bit of celebrating going on after the result last night.
Absolutely. There's lots of very happy Liberal Democrats here in Brecon and Radnorshire and indeed right across the country, because this is a stunning by-election victory. And, you know, the people of Brecon and Radnorshire have shown that it's not required to settle for Boris Johnson or Jeremy Corbyn. There is another more positive vision for our country, and that is the Liberal Democrats.
But the thing is, it's a bit more complicated in that particular situation. We know the Conservative candidate, as we've just been talking about here, a petition to unseat him because of the expenses fraud that had happened. So it's a bit more muddying the waters. You can't just put it down to that, can you?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, the Conservative candidate and Boris Johnson have quite a lot in common, actually. You know, they both misled people. They both were pursuing this reckless Brexit, this crashing out without a deal, which does not have a mandate. And they both deserve to lose. And that's one of the reasons why the Liberal Democrats won here last night.
So are you looking for a general election in the next couple of months? Is that the best possible scenario now for the Lib Dems?
Well, the Liberal Democrats are ready for an election whenever it comes, and politics is very unpredictable, but we've put our party on an election footing. And, you know, we are gearing up to target more seats than ever before. We know that hundreds of seats are now in play for the Liberal Democrats under this new volatile politics. What we want is to achieve the people's vote that we have been campaigning for 3 years, with the option for people to choose to stay in the European Union. And so that's what we're going to be arguing for, because that is the way out of this Brexit impasse that we're in. But if we're in a general election situation, then we are absolutely up for it and ready to provide that positive alternative and say people do not have to choose between Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn, because neither of those men are fit to be Prime Minister.
So if you're saying a people's vote, a referendum is a very important part of the Lib Dem strategy and manifesto. If you're in a position to join with the Labour Party, and let's say they come out, and it's likely they might well come out as People's Vote Party, would you then join a coalition with Jeremy Corbyn's party to achieve that goal?
Let's be clear, if we're in a general election, I'm going to be campaigning for the Liberal Democrats to be the largest party. And the way that politics is working at the moment, that ambition is absolutely achievable. So that is my goal.
But hang on. Sorry, Jo Swinson, you've just cut a deal last night for the by-election with the Greens and Plaid. So, you know, you are in a situation of cutting deals already. So why can't you consider doing that with the Labour Party in order to gain this people's vote that you say is the most important thing that you need to achieve?
I am working with people from the Labour Party, from the Conservative Party, from Plaid, from the Independent and Change, from people from the SNP. Anyone who wants to rally to the cause of stopping Brexit, we are working with them. And incidentally, I had quite a few messages of support for the Liberal Democrats and good luck messages from Labour and Conservative MPs as we approach this by-election. And I want to say a thank you to Plaid Cymru and the Green Party, who did put the national interest first and not field candidates in the by-election. And we've shown that that cooperation works.
You can only do this with the collaboration of others, can't you? So you have to look at going into some sort of coalition with another party. Who would that be?
Well, I think it's about which others would work with us. If we're in a general election situation, you know, with the polls that we are seeing right now, you know, the Liberal Democrats often polling ahead of the Labour Party and in some cases polling ahead of the Conservative Party, the European elections where we beat both the Conservative and Labour parties, then, you know, there is no limit to my ambition. I stand in front of you, I'm a candidate for Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Just to be really clear, because I'm really getting confused now, just to be really clear, you're not ruling out a possible coalition with the Labour Party?
I'm ruling out any coalition with Brexiteers. It is fundamentally opposed to our values. And Jeremy Corbyn, to be crystal clear, is a Brexiteer. There is no other possible
let me put it another way. Let me put it another. Let me put it another way. If the Labour Party, in an election campaign, made it very clear they were a Remain party and they were campaigning for a people's vote, on that basis, would you go into a coalition with the Labour Party?
You can come back and ask me that question if we get to a situation where the
No, we
Labour
should be
Party
asking it now.
is led by
You
somebody
want
who's
people to
not
support
a
your party. I think
because they're not.
But you want people to support your party, to
you're
join your
asking me
party. I
like
think it's an honest question to ask.
You're asking me like 10 hypotheticals and something which currently there's no sign of happening because Jeremy Corbyn is ensconced in the leadership of the Labour Party and he is a Brexiteer, and that is clearly the case. The Liberal Democrats are the strongest, biggest, most consistent party of Remain, and we are taking that fight to people in the country, to Boris Johnson in particular, and people are rallying behind us.
Are you worried about speaking in favour of Corbyn because the likelihood is that some of these Labour supporters who once supported Labour have now moved to your party, so you don't want to annoy them now, you want to keep them on side? Is that what's going on here?
No, what's going on here is I don't think that Jeremy Corbyn or Boris Johnson are fit to be Prime Minister. Neither of them have the right vision for the country. Both of them want a reckless Brexit. And frankly, both of them also don't stand up for the values that I think are British values about equality, for example, whether it's the anti-Semitism in the Labour Party or the Islamophobia in the Conservative Party. And I don't think it is fair to the British public to say that they have to have that choice. It is not a choice. There is a better alternative. And don't you tell me as the Lib Dem that I can't make that case to the British people and give them a better alternative, because we can, and that is why we are ambitious about winning a general election.
But the thing is, we've got 90 days until our Brexit deadline. A general election could be called at any time. People want the clarity to know exactly what the makeup of the parties would be. And are you saying, I know you've said that there's an issue with Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn. Say, for example, if Jeremy Corbyn wasn't the leader of the Labour Party, would you feel more comfortable then supporting them and coming in a collaboration with them?
Well, I mean, ask me if that situation arises. You know, I'm not going to be shy about coming back and speaking to you, but, you know, you're asking me endless hypotheticals, particularly in a situation where, you know, Labour under Corbyn are pursuing a strategy of delivering Brexit. The Conservatives under Johnson are pursuing a strategy of delivering Brexit. And the Liberal Democrats are the party that is saying this is not the right path for our country. There is a better future available. We should stop Brexit by having a people's vote and giving people the chance to choose to remain in the European Union. And it is the Liberal Democrats who are leading that charge. And if people agree with that, then join us, just as tens of thousands have done so in the recent weeks.
OK. Jo Swinson, thank you very much for joining us this morning on Good Morning Britain. Thank you.